Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. The Loki producers revealed a bunch of deleted scenes and an entire deleted storyline they decided to remove from Loki Season 2, involving a much bigger version of the new Kang Multiverse War. It would have been a completely different storyline, way more cameo scenes, obviously, so we'll break it down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Careful for spoilers for everything on Loki. So far, this video is mostly about deleted scenes and storylines, so I don't really consider that spoilers. But currently, Loki Season 2 is about Loki, Sylvie, cleaning up the damage to the timeline they caused in Season 1 by killing He Who Remains and freeing the Council of Kangs in the wider multiverse. That was the whole idea at the end of Season 1, as in the Council of Kangs was going to show up right after that. During the actual Loki Season 2 episodes, this whole timeline is broken storyline. They're visualizing through the machinery behind the sacred timeline, just saying that it's breaking down. Basically, it can't handle all the extra multiverse timelines, and if it does break down, all of time will collapse, basically causing the destruction of all reality. So past, present, and future would start existing simultaneously, making it way easier for them to explain why dead characters come back in the next Avengers movie. Coincidence? I think not. We see what you're doing there, Marvel. You thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. But no matter what the story was going to be, we knew that Loki Season 2 was going to set up Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty, Avengers 6 Secret Wars. Loki was always going to be at the center of all that. But once Marvel decided to make Kang the new Thanos big bad in the next Avengers movies, they basically started setting up the Council of Kangs as the next major overarching villain. But here's where we get to all the deleted scenes, deleted storyline. According to the Loki producers, when they started making Season 2, like a couple of years ago, they had a completely different plan for the Council of Kangs and how everything would lead into Avengers 5. The main reason why they had to change the plot is because of the pandemic delays, rescheduling all the movies. So everything was coming out of order from what they had originally intended. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania ended up getting released before Loki Season 2, and originally Loki Season 2 would have come out first. Their original version of Loki Season 2, like all these deleted storylines, would have been mostly about the actual Kang. Multiverse War. We would have seen the actual war going down in each episode, with the different Kang variants fighting for supremacy. So in Loki Season 2 Episode 1, like the actual version that we finally saw, Loki goes on telling them stories, telling about the Kang Multiverse War, like war is coming. We would have actually seen that playing out in each episode. Immortals Rama Turtle, Scarlet Centurion, Victor Timely, Mr. Griffin, Dr. Doom, like all the others on the Council of Kangs. There would have been many of them, way more than we're actually going to see in Loki Season 2. There will still be some Kang variants that we'll see, but not nearly as many. The producers also kind of confirmed my theory back when the Loki Season 1 finale aired. So a couple of years ago, when the finale was first released, Loki comes back to the TVA, nobody remembers him. He sees the Kang statue in place of the Timekeepers. My theory at the time was that the Kang Multiverse War had broken out again, and all the Kangs were fighting each other. And at the moment, another Kang, like the Kang the Conqueror variant, was winning and had taken over the TVA and was using it to destroy other timelines. The producers pretty much confirmed that originally they intended for the plot to be something closer to that concept. Loki comes back and the Kang Multiverse War has broken out again. They're in the middle of it because the battle is happening across all points in the timeline. Past, present, and future is total chaos. Nobody knows what to do. Then Marvel shifts the release dates for their Marvel Phase. For Marvel Phase 5 movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes out before Loki Season 2. And suddenly, it doesn't make sense for that statue to be of Kang the Conqueror, because they wanted to seem like Ant-Man killed him at the end of Quantumania. Then they had to change the plot for Loki Season 2 and just created the time-slipping storyline and said that Loki had time-slipped in his own timeline back to the beginning of the TVA. And they said that at that time, He Who Remains wasn't hiding his identity. So the statue was of him. Like they had to find a way to explain why this looked like Kang. I think their original idea for Loki Season 2 was to introduce that main Kang the Conqueror variant that we saw in Quantumania. The Kang multiverse war rages throughout Season 2. We see a bunch more of the Avengers characters cameo, the Kangs vying for supremacy. Then when Ant-Man, the Wasp Quantumania was still happening after Loki Season 2, they would explain how the Council of Kangs exiles the Kang the Conqueror variant to the quantum realm, where Janet Van Dyne finds him explaining how he ended up in there because when the movie came out, there was a lot of hand-waving like, why did you get exiled? What happened during the multiverse war like that would have happened during Loki Season 2? Then the rest of the Ant-Man Quantumania plot picks up the way we saw it in theaters. So that seems like the first reason why they changed Loki Season 2 so much. Mostly scheduling. It wouldn't have made sense for him to disappear in Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania then show up as a major villain in Loki Season 2. The second major reason why they deleted all those multiverse war storylines and scenes is because of a larger shift inside Marvel behind the scenes. Also, because of budget. When Kevin Feige decided to hold that Kang multiverse war storyline from Season 2 and save it for Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty to do the Avengers level version of the Kang multiverse war. Think about it this way. If we'd actually seen the multiverse war going on in each episode, it would have been cool. Would have been a really awesome storyline. Way more cameo scenes, way bigger, way more epic scope, way more multiverse shattering consequences. But there's no way they would have had the money to spend on it. They would have needed to actually do it right. They decided they wanted to do an Avengers Endgame level version of the Kang multiverse war, which requires hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, way more big characters, just generally way more people working on it than they would have had for Loki. Season 2. This is also one of the reasons why they decided to turn that Iron Man Armor Wars TV series for Rhodey into a movie. There's no way they would have had the budget to do it on an actual TV series. So it sounds like a lot of all these changes went down right after Loki Season 1 ended. They started with this Kang Multiverse War Season 2 idea, but then quickly pivoted when they decided to use Kang as a much bigger character. The Council of Kangs for the next 2 Avengers movies. Marvel did not go into Loki Season 1 knowing that Kang would be the next Thanos-level villain or the Council of Kangs. When they first cast Jonathan Majors, they only cast him to play He Who Remains. He was only written as he remains in the script. There were no references to Kang at all. All the Kang stuff didn't really happen until very late in the process. After Kevin Feige saw the actual footage of his performance in the Loki finale, Marvel took a hard turn into the Council of Kangs. Like, well, we could actually use him as our next overarching villain. Season 2 is still setting up Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty. Secret Wars setting up Deadpool 3. Couple other things. Loki still very much central to everything in this multiverse saga movies, like everything in Marvel Phase 4 or 5 and 6. But it's just interesting to see how, one thing changes in the storyline for all these different movies has to change at the same time on a dime. Probably one of the reasons why they had some story issues behind the scenes in Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5, just changing things so quickly. Let me know in the comments if you think they made the right call saving all the Kang multiverse war stuff, the Council of Kangs for Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, or would you have rather seen that play out over Loki Season 2 in a much smaller form? Keep in mind, this would have actually meant using a totally different villain for Avengers 5. In Avengers 6, and there aren't a lot of Marvel characters that are big enough that they've set up enough that could fill that role, the Celestials, maybe Galactus. Maybe they would have had to introduce Galactus way sooner. There would be something that Marvel would do if they wanted to pivot away from the Kang character. Like, we're done. Enough with the Council of Kang. We want to move past that. Want to move past Jonathan Majors' version of Kang. They have plenty of time to figure that out. I'll put all your theories in the comments below. Be sure to stay subscribed for more updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.